I'm Dan Rice, and welcome inside Chopper 2. You know, when the sun goes down, the skyscrapers of New York City take on a unique look when they're all lit up. Add in the holiday season, and the entire area becomes a magical place. So we're going to take you on a tour of the 5 boroughs and the surrounding communities and show you some of the different light displays that are happening. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the tour from Chopper 2. Well, this is going to be Lights on Lozier Court is their Facebook page, I believe. And this is a house that has been doing this since 2015. And the owner of the house, John Russo, was diagnosed with cancer back in 2014. And he was watching one of those TV shows that highlighted holiday lights and the battles between neighbors and who could do it bigger and better. And he told his girlfriend that if he beat cancer, he would do a house like he saw on TV. And sure enough, he beat it. And in 2015, he started doing this and has not stopped since. Like many towns in the tri-state area, Fort Lee also puts up a community tree for the holiday season. But what makes this one just a little more unique than the other trees that you might see in other towns is the backdrop for that tree. This is the Jack Alter Fort Lee Community Center. It sits between 16th Street and Inwood Terrace, but you can see the entire building is lit up in holiday lights. And just in case you miss all those lights on the side of the building, they have the spotlights on top of the building to get your attention there. And behind the tree, we can also see several floodlights that were set up to make a green and red pattern on the grass down below there. Now, as we come back around this building, you're going to see there are various light patterns that cover the entire side of that structure. And according to NorthJersey.com, it takes about 5 to 6 workers here in Fort Lee to start putting the lights up here that begin in July. And it's about 750,000 lights that cover this building here. And even on top of the building, you can see there is a Christmas tree up there that spins on the top of the building there. So if you are traveling through the Fort Lee area, this is definitely going to catch your eye as you're traveling through the Fort Lee area of New Jersey. Just off the Sawmill River Parkway are a cluster of houses that like to do up the holidays as well. We can see several houses down here with different displays, but there's one in particular that caught our eye, and it's right over here. You can see quite a bit of lights coming off of that property there. We zoom in with the camera, and you can see that yard is filled with different knickknacks and different inflatables that represent the holiday season. We look over here on the side of the driveway. It looks like a snow globe over there on the right side. And we come back over here in front of the house, so we can see not only net lights that are on top of the roof area, all the lights are outlining the windows over there, but we can see Mr. and Mrs. Claus right there by the front entry walkway to the house. One of those that catch your eye as you're going down the street there. We have seen a few cars slowing down and look at it, but it's one of the houses here in Yonkers that does up the holiday season in a big way. Just north of the downtown area and right off of Route 280 sits this light display in Newark, New Jersey along Orange Street. Now, this is the Newark Moonlight Cinema, but during the holidays, they transform it into a drive-through light show, and you can see all the different displays that are lit up here on this winding path that sits in the footprint of that drive-in theater. We come over to this tunnel here, and you can see the multicolors of the arches as cars will drive through that area as well, but also numerous trees line the pathway as well, and most of this all set to a musical number that is playing that you can hear inside your car. You see that one car on the top of your screen making the turn there. It takes about a half hour to drive through this display, but you can see it's a visual treat for the eyes. Lyndhurst, New Jersey is another community that gets into the holiday spirit. Almost every block has houses lit up with some sort of display, but over here on Forest Avenue, two houses take it to an extreme. We'll zoom in with the camera and you're going to see from the top of the roof down to the ground, both of these houses are just showered in lights. The one house there on the left, even with its own display set to music, I believe. As you can see, the lights dancing around the outside of that house. It is a destination location for many people. They do come out here, both driving by and even here on the sidewalk. You see these archways that are lit up for people to take in the beauty of both houses. Even here, you can see that one tree with an inflatable up in the tree itself. And you can see kids enjoying that display down there. Again, Lyndhurst, New Jersey, another place to go check out some of the impressive holiday displays around the tri-state area. This light display spreads out over 6 acres of farmland in Queens, New York. This is the New York City Winter Lantern Festival at the Queens County Farm. And you can see this light display is a large one. Several interesting things down here. These are all lanterns, handcrafted lanterns that make up the display down here with several lights as well. But one of the features that's gotten our attention is right here. This is an alligator that you can actually walk through. We've watched a lot of people going through the alligator there, having fun walking through that lantern display, but also around here you see several archways that you can walk through with different lights and all these lanterns that illuminate the pathways as you walk around this farm. We come back in here over there. It looks like a Christmas ornament that you can walk through as well. And you can see several animals along the one pathway there. A very fun time for people who have small kids, even big kids. Enjoy walking around through all these handcrafted lanterns at the Queens County Farm.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly, la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, la 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 la. Draw the ancient Yuletide carol, la 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 la. Deck the hall with boughs of holly, la 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 la.
When you think holiday lights in the New York City area, no neighborhood probably does it bigger than the Dyker Heights section of Brooklyn. You can see in this snapshot here from 86th Street on the right side up to about 82nd Street on the left side, from 13th Avenue down to 10th Avenue, almost every house seems to try to outdo the house next to it. And there's quite a bit of a display here that brings in several 100,000 people throughout the holiday season. And it all began with one house over here on 84th Street. You see the house there with the red tree in front of it. This is the Spada house. Lucy and Angelo moved into this house in 1986, and nobody did holiday decorations in Dyker Heights. So they decided to put on decorations of their own. And you can see it's quite a large display that sits in front of this house. As a matter of fact, you can see a group of people standing in front of the house right now taking their picture with the display here. This is something that Lucy promised her husband Angelo that she would continue doing even after his death in 2019. And you can see that this inspiration for the whole neighborhood continues to light up this section of 84th Street. But again, it's not the only house that's lighting up this area of Brooklyn. We come down here to the corner, and you can see on some of these houses, you have simple white displays of lights down there. And you can see this on both corners here, actually. You have the red and white on the right. You have the white on the left. And we come back out here, and you're going to see some green lined rooftops there and just more houses that light up the nighttime sky. Now, as I said before, there are several 100,000 people who come down here throughout the holiday season. There are tours that run from Midtown out here to Brooklyn just to bring people out to the neighborhood to see the different displays. We'll come back over here towards the other end of the block, and you'll see this one house group of houses actually that have several figurines in the front yard there, all lit up with the holiday season. We can see different icicle lights coming off of that house and people making their way through the neighborhood. But we'll come over here to the other side of the block, and this one particular house down here, they make quite a bit of use of inflatables on the front yard there. If you look down there by the corner, you'll see the inflatables not only in the front yard but also up on the second story of that house. And we see more lights and decorations that fill the nighttime sky in front of this structure. But we'll come back around with the camera, and as the helicopter comes around the corner there, you're going to see that the whole side of the house is not only decorated with lights, but the entire side of the house from top to bottom is just in a sheet of lights that cover up the entire side of that block of the house. And we see more of those inflatables that come in on the side yard there as people walk by. And if we look close enough in one of the windows down there, you might even get a peek at a visitor inside the house. Something that attracts a lot of the people to come to this house there is, of course, jolly old St. Nick looking out the window, waving to everybody. So just a various display of lights that fill up this entire neighborhood in the southern section of Brooklyn.
Merry Christmas!
This house here in the Toad Hill section of Staten Island is one of my personal favorites because when I see this one lit up, I know we're getting close to the holiday season. This is on Fine Boulevard. It's off the beaten path, so people just don't drive by it. This is for their personal amusement down here at this house, and we'll come down here and show you how intricate they get with their displays down here. We start with the season's greeting there, the Merry Christmas, with the green and the red, and then we come back to the house, and you can see there is just every bit of that front yard filled with some sort of light or display that go up and around that house, and then that netting of lighting down here in the corner. But one of the things that fascinates me is this Santa Claus that sits over here in the driveway. On the top of your video, you're going to see a basketball hoop that's set up in the driveway. It looks like a regulation-sized basketball hoop, and this Santa Claus towers over that basketball hoop. Obviously not small decorations down here, but a family who definitely gets into the holiday spirit here on Staten Island.
Jingle, 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 dashing through the snow. Jingle, 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 sleigh. Jingle, jingle, all the fields rejoice. Jingle, jingle, all the way. And bells on bobtail ring. Jingle, jingle, spirits bright. Jingle, fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open. Jingle, 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 in a one-horse open sleigh.
Along North Broadway in Yonkers sits Untermeyer Gardens, and this is their grand holiday illumination. Over 100,000 lights light up the walled garden along North Broadway there. We'll come in with the camera and you're going to see just what a beautiful place this is to take in the holiday season. Classical holiday music also plays throughout the garden to give it an even extra warmer feeling as you take in this beautiful light display. those are just some of the different displays that are happening all around the tri-state area. And hopefully you enjoyed those views that we were able to give you here from Chopper 2. I'm Dan Rice, CBS News, New York.